Hello everyone! With the release of the Center, there are 6 new creatures that have been added to Ark Survival Ascended. These creatures are the Shastasaurus, the Gigantoraptor, the Fasolasuchus, the Oasisaur, the Xiphactinus, and the Ceratosaurus. Now in this video, we will be evaluating and ranking each new creature. We will look at their creature design, abilities, and potential opportunities. We will be discussing them in the order of the release date. Now before I give you the details for every creature, here is how I ranked them. Coming in at number 6 is the Oasisaur, number 5 is the Fasolasuchus, number 4 is the Ceratosaurus, number 3 is the Shastasaurus, number 2 is the Xiphactinus, and number 1 is the Gigantoraptor. Now, the first new creature that was released in ASA was the Gigantoraptor. Its design is both eye-catching and functional, emphasizing its role as a caretaker and guardian. Also, it has an amazing and colorful design in a game where many other creatures have more muted color schemes. The Gigantoraptor's abilities center around nurturing and protecting baby creatures, making it an invaluable asset for players focused on breeding and raising their prehistoric and fantasy families. Now, when it comes to its combat abilities, it includes a standard bite attack and a powerful kick. That kick deals 3 times the damage of its bite, and it has significant knockback. Now, the kick's slow attack speed limits its overall damage output, but its power and utility are undeniable. Now, a big standout ability is the call out for wild babies, marking unclaimed wild babies within stasis range with a waypoint for 1 minute. This is extremely useful for spotting future tames, and then once located, players can imprint on these babies with the Gigantoraptor, claim them, and place up to 2 babies in its saddle for protection. Now when it comes to mobility, the Gigantoraptor is exceptionally fast on land. Also, they can jump and glide long distances, and this glide prevents fall damage. Now when it comes to its passive abilities, it is also something that is noteworthy, with the adoptive parent perk, allowing it to act as a feeding trough for babies that are placed in its saddle. Additionally, it can form bonds with baby dinos through hunting activities, providing buffs to both the Gigantoraptor and its adopted babies. Now when it comes to breeding, there is another amazing ability which allows players to pluck a feather from the Gigantoraptor once every 24 hours. This feather can be placed in the inventory of a breeding female to enhance the chances of babies being born with the higher parental stats. Now, the taming process for the Gigantoraptor is unique and fitting for its nurturing nature. Players must first find a nest with both an adult and a baby Gigantoraptor. By using fertilized eggs to distract the adult, players can hide in the nest and mimic the baby Gigantoraptor's actions to advance the taming meter. Successfully bonding with the baby will allow you to tame them and raise them as your own. Now, moving on to the next creature here that was released is the Fasolasuchus. This sand-dwelling predator is a master of ambush, perfectly adapted to the desert environment. Its rugged crocodilian design allows it to bury itself in the sand, becoming virtually invisible to unsuspecting prey. The Fasolasuchus can move underground, which makes it an excellent hunter and a formidable opponent. Now, the Fasolasuchus comes equipped with several powerful abilities. Its primary attack is a caustic bite that deals damage and increases the target's damage taken, making it a great debuffer in combat. Additionally, it can whip its tail and throw sand, blinding predators and prey alike. One of its most unique abilities, though, is its capacity to create a sandstorm, which slows movement and dismounts raiders caught within its radius. This ability is particularly useful when it's surrounded by small hostile creatures, as its turn radius is quite wide, and it's also effective against flyers, as it can actually pin even wyverns to the ground with this ability. Now when it comes to taming, the Fasolasuchus requires a combination of explosives, skill, and maybe even a bit of luck. Players must wait for it to bury itself, then place C4 on the mound and ignite it. Now once the creature surfaces, players must ride it and steer into rocks to increase its torpidity. This taming process can be quite nerving and requires precision and timing, as losing control will result in the player being dismounted and having to start over. Now the closest thing we've had to this type of taming process prior to its release was the Equus. Now when it comes to the domesticated version, the Fasolasuchus serves multiple roles. It is an excellent combat mount, it's able to deal with large prey and most opponents effectively. Its sandstorm and quicksand abilities provide crowd control, making it invaluable in large-scale battles. Additionally, it is a proficient farmer, particularly for flint, meat, and hide. However, it is not without its drawbacks. The Fasolasuchus is vulnerable to swarms of smaller creatures, which can exploit its defenses and cause significant damage. Also, its debuff does not work on bosses, and it has an incredibly slow attack speed. Its ability to quickly clear out trees and rocks would be a great asset for quickly clearing an area to make a base. However, this can only be used in areas with the softer terrain where it can go underground, which greatly limits its overall effectiveness. Now, when it comes to the third creature that was released, it's going to be the Oasisaur. Now, this unique creature is one of the most fantastical additions additions to Ark Survival Ascended. This Oasisaur or Flying Island is a massive, gentle giant reminiscent of a Titanosaur, but with the added mystique of being able to defy gravity. And it fits perfectly well on Scorched Earth, as they were actually the first map to introduce something that was mystical with the wyverns. Also, it appears to have gills on its actual appearance to breathe, but no mouth to eat, added even more mystery to its design and its creature nature. Its back is essentially a fertile oasis, allowing for the growth of various plants and buildings of small structures. This makes it an incredible utility creature for players who enjoy building and resource management. The Oasisaur can passively generate resources like cactus sap, crystal, fiber, flint, metal, stone, sulfur, thatch, and wood. This is all thanks to its fertile back. Now, not every Oasisaur generates the exact same materials. Each creature has a predetermined resource that can be generated. This is determined by what resources you can see on their back. These resources appear in the Oasis inventory, which is a secondary inventory attached to the Oasisaur. This is a fantastic addition for any tribe looking to passively generate resources without investing the time to do so. The only other creature to have a similar passive generation of such resources is a gacha, and they will not be released until extinction. Now, one of the most unique and powerful abilities of the Oasisaur is its capability to resurrect fallen tames by placing a death essence, which is an item dropped by a breeding-capable creature upon death, into the Oasis inventory. The Oasisaur can then reincarnate the creature as a baby. However, this resurrection ability has a cooldown of 24 hours and can only be performed once per creature. This ability is invaluable for players who have lost their special and cherished tames and want to bring them back into their tribe. Now, the taming process for the Oasisaur is amazing, and it's quite engaging and requires some preparation. Players must first climb onto the creature's back using either flying mounts or grappling hooks. Once on its back, the player must place a death essence into the oasis, which triggers a minigame involving waves of vultures attacking a baby clone of the resurrected creature. Protecting this baby from harm is crucial to completing the taming process. The minigame will escalate in difficulty with each wave, making it a challenging but rewarding endeavor. Now, successfully taming the Oasisaur provides players with a peaceful, mobile fortress and a valuable asset in resource generation and tame resurrection. However, despite its impressive utility, the Oasisaur lacks any defensive capabilities. It cannot defend itself and relies heavily on its tribe and other dinos for protection. Its slow flight speed makes it vulnerable to aerial and large terrestrial predators, which can easily catch up to it. Moreover, it cannot have automated turrets or plant species X placed on it, further limiting its defensive potential. It truly does have an amazing taming process, but there are certainly some limitations with this creature. Another big call is the fact that it is a paid DLC. You must have the Bob's Tall Tales DLC to tame this creature in the first place. Now, the fourth creature to be released/announced is the Ceratosaurus, a robust horned carnivore known for its venomous spines and relentless stalking behavior. The design for this creature adds multiple different color regions that make mutations look amazing. It also strikes fears in those that it charges down. It's got a rugged body and it's covered with different shapes and sizes of spikes. The ones near the back are by far the most prominent, and the red color there moreover symbolizes the creature's thirst for blood. This creature is found in the grasslands, jungle biomes, and the mountains of Scorched Earth. It uses its aggressive nature to dominate its prey, and the Ceratosaurus can track threats from a significant distance away before it will actually begin to attack you, so you must be extremely careful. Fortunately, they are extremely loud, so you will typically know that they are coming. Now, the Ceratosaurus also has a unique taming method involving the use of a hemoglobin cocktail, crafted from the Ceratosaurus venom spines. This cocktail attracts the Ceratosaurus to attack the tamed creature that has consumed it, and as the Ceratosaurus attacks, it becomes blood drunk, allowing players to safely passively feed it to complete the taming process. This method is both innovative and challenging, and requires players to manage their tame's health, ensure the area remains clear of other hostile creatures, and to avoid dealing damage to the Ceratosaurus during this entire process. Now, once tamed, the Ceratosaurus is an incredibly fast and versatile mount, and has a powerful bite and spine attack that inflicts venom, enhancing the victim's blood to heal nearby carnivores. This makes the Ceratosaurus an invaluable asset in battles, providing both offensive power and support through its healing ability. Its speed is another significant advantage, allowing it to navigate various terrains swiftly and even break through rocks and boulders at high speed. When it hits its top speed, it's actually faster than a Gallimimus, which is an incredible feat. What's even more incredible is the duration that it can maintain this speed. It truly is amazing for exploration and traversing terrain. Now, the Ceratosaurus' abilities make it ideal for multiple roles. In combat, it serves as a strong offensive and support mount. It is also excellent for hunting small to medium prey. Its high speed and the ability to inflict venom make it a formidable opponent and a valuable addition to any tribe. However, controlling its speed can be challenging, especially when it builds up to its top speed, making it difficult to maneuver precisely. Also, when using multiple Ceras all at once, the heal has some major limitations. It cannot heal for enough to sustain a fight with bosses. I have tried this out with all 3 alphas on the island, and you can find a video of that on my channel. Now, the 5th creature to be released is the Xiphactinus. It is an exceptional aquatic predator with a sleek, streamlined body and a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth. This creature is both intimidating and simplistic. You often find Xiphactinus hunting in packs to increase its overall lethality. Now, when it comes to its abilities, the Xiphactinus can deliver a powerful bite that deals significant damage. Additionally, they can lunge at enemies. With this lunge, they can latch onto smaller targets, causing a bleeding effect and sending the Xiphactinus into a frenzy. This lunge attack also allows them to leap out of the water to grab flyers or pull survivors off their mounts, making them a versatile threat both below and above the water. Now, when it comes to mobility, the Xiphactinus is an excellent swimmer, rivaling even the fastest creatures in the ocean. This makes it perfect for ocean exploration and transportation. Additionally, its straightforward knockout taming method is a welcome change, as it provides a more traditional approach compared to recent specific creature taming trends. The community has embraced Xiphactinus for its utility in various scenarios. They've been used to steal wyvern eggs on scorched earth and to conquer the water caves on the island. They've also been used to defeat Ark's bosses with the support of a Daedon for healing. Their bleed effect is one of only a few that actually works on Ark's bosses. When you have multiple Xiphactinus all attacking the same creature, they can destroy it in a matter of seconds. Yes, I am looking at you, Wild Gigas. They really do put the Mega Piranha to shame. On that note, let's move over to the last creature here, the new creature, the Shastasaurus. Now, at the time of this video, it has not been officially released. They should be in-game in just a few days. However, we do have some information to work with when it comes to trying to evaluate what we can expect from them. The skin of the Shastasaurus is a deep iridescent blue that shimmers under the water, catching the light in a mesmeric dance of colors. This coloration provides excellent camouflage in the deep ocean, making it a stealthy presence despite its massive size. Much like the ichthyosaur, the Shastasaurus displays a remarkable interest in humans, often approaching survivors with a cautious but friendly demeanor. Despite their size, which can be initially terrifying, Shastasaurus are not aggressive by nature. Their curiosity often leads them to investigate human activity, making them fascinating companions in the depths of the ocean. One of the most intriguing abilities of the Shastasaurus is its use of ultrasonic chips for echolocation. These chips, typically used for navigation and hunting, have been weaponized by this creature in extraordinary ways. The Shastasaurus can focus its echolocation into a narrow beam that disorients prey. Alternatively, it can emit these sounds in a wider, more powerful blast that creates a concussive wave, capable of scattering and stunning entire schools of fish. This dual-purpose ability showcases the Shastasaurus' ability and intelligence in its underwater environment. Now, when it comes to taming a Shastasaurus, it is an endeavor that is both challenging and immensely rewarding. The process begins with gaining the creature's trust, often by bringing along some smaller ichthyosaurs to engage and entertain the larger relative. Scraping off the itchy barnacles from its skin with a sickle helps to build a bond of trust and affection. Once this connection is established, the Shastasaurus becomes a loyal and formidable companion, offering unparalleled protection and support in deep water. So, long story short, it sounds like we would do something similar in regards to scraping the lead with a sickle to get prime fish meat. However, it seems like if we are just scraping the barnacles off, then we may actually draw aggro from this creature. So somehow we will need to use the dolphins to distract them while we do the cleaning of the barnacles. Also, a notable point here is the abilities. There is a stun that's actually going to be possible. The only tameable creature in the game that has a true stun in the water is the Baryonyx. So overall, if all of these abilities are as great as they sound, this could be a truly great addition to Ark. Now, in summary here, all of these creatures each bring unique designs and abilities to Ark Survival Ascended, enhancing the overall gameplay experience with their distinctive roles and features. The Gigantoraptor stands out as the top pick for its exceptional nurturing and combat capabilities, while the Xiphactinus excels in aquatic environments and makes the oceans even more terrifying than they were before, and just because you got up on the land does not mean you are immediately safe. Now, the only thing that held it back from being number one is its extremely simple design. Its teeth are certainly terrifying, but when it comes to mutations and different elements of its design, it really is quite simple. Now, the Ceratosaurus and the Fasolasuchus offer specialized combat and utility abilities. They both have incredibly menacing designs and are great choices for the mid-game, however they both fall short when it comes to late-game effectiveness as a carnivore. And then the Oasisaur provides unparalleled resource generation and resurrection capabilities despite its vulnerabilities, but being a paid mod, I could not place this anywhere but at the bottom. If it was not paid, then I most likely would swap its place with the Fasolasuchus. Now, the center's release date is currently scheduled for June 4th. We can only hope the map, the Shastasaurus, and whatever new things there are live up to the hype. Now, when it comes to gearing up for the center, it's important to be prepared for the release of a new map. If you want to have a great start to your center playthrough and one of those invaluable tips for this new map, then I recommend you check out this video here.